Hey guys, it's Chandler. Welcome back to the Marshall and Southern. Today is episode 2 of N-Scale Layout Update Series, as we're taking a look at the progress that's happened on the N-Scale layout since the first episode about 2 weeks ago. We're mainly going to focus on the peninsula area here, as this is where all the work has been taking place. We're going to start over here with a New River Mine. So if you've seen the recent video that was posted, I got this mine kit from PJ's Train Shack. They send pre-built and weathered HO and N-scale buildings. I'm not much of a kit builder myself. I've built a couple, but I'm personally not the greatest at it, nor do I have a lot of time to do that. So when I found PJ's Train Shack online and they have pre-built structures, I was like, this is going to be perfect. And this coal mine fit. I mean, it literally fit perfect right here in this area of the peninsula. And so I got this one medium weathered. You can choose between light weathered, medium weathered, or heavy weathered. I did the medium. Just kind of show you a little bit here. I've got some other pieces I got to put in. So what I'm thinking about doing, as you can see this piece sticking off back here, it goes to nowhere. I'm in the process right now of looking at backdrops for my layout. So I'm going to start a backdrop over here at the corner, and then it'll go around to here. And then I'm going to probably, I haven't decided exactly how high. I don't know if it'll be about 8 or 10 inches, somewhere about right in here. But I'm going to run a piece of like a, what do you call that? Like poster board back here. That's what I did on my last layout. You know, just like a hard base, but it's not like permanent. And then I'll put the backdrop against that, so it'll go like across the window there, so it looks like the back of the coal mine actually goes into something, not into my window. And then the backdrop will come around the wall here, and then come around the yard, and then it'll stop right there in that corner. So there won't be nothing right here. But that'd be all right. But anyway, so as you can see here, I've got the coal mine in, and I've already got the track and everything ballasted. And I've had a couple people comment in my comment section about they'd like to see like some to-do videos, like how to and like how I do things. I do plan on doing a couple of those. Be aware I'm not the best or professional in anything. I literally learn off, just trying things and watching stuff on YouTube. I watch a lot of Jimmy DIY on YouTube. He actually lives in North Carolina near me as well. So I watch a lot of his videos. So that's how I learn things. But I will make some to-do videos or how-to videos later. But just know that I'm not a professional by any means. But as you can see, I got the track ballasted. I even got some coal and stuff sprinkled around the coaling tower, and it's going between the tracks as well. It's kind of hard to see. I got a train in the mine right now, actually. And then I started ballasting, or I started doing some ground foam around it first, and then that's when I came to the mountain here that divides New River. This is New River control point here, and then the New River mine. And then it comes around Sand Cut. And then I haven't thought of the name of this area on the other side of the mountain, but that's why I want to go ahead and do this, the biggest area first. The peninsula, I know it was going to be probably the hardest and the biggest area, so I want to start it first. But I am really happy with how it turned out, honestly, from here to over here. So, in another thing I'm going to show you too here in just a moment is, one thing in mile railroading, you learn some and you try them, you make mistakes, and you do a lot of playing around with things, and you learn and you live and learn, and you try. But one thing I wish I kind of would have done, and I didn't do it on the last layout, and I did it okay, but I really kind of wish I would have painted my mountain first and then did all the ground foam. But hey, it's okay. We're making it work, and it's going to work. What I mean by that is just kind of show you here. You can see I got like some bare spots The mountain is so steep right here through Sand Cut and on the sides that it was actually hard to make, you know, some of the ground foam stick. This was probably, oh, I don't know, 8 hours maybe, 8 hours or so involved in this. But that's all ground foam, Woodland Sinks ground foam of different shades sprinkled on it. And as you can see through Sand Cut, I do have some rocks and stuff on the side of the hill. But what I've been doing is, so I went back and painted, and I know this doesn't match, but when I put fascia panels on, I'm planning on having my fascia panels like curve up, so they'll actually like protect this side of the mountain, so actually you won't even see this side of the mountain more than likely. Now, if I decide to change that, then I might paint this a different color or something later on. But anyway, so I've been going back and trying to paint in some of the areas that was bare, and I'm not finished by no means. This is not finished. This is like maybe 85-90% finished through Sand Cut right here. So I gotta sprinkle some more ground foam later, and then maybe do a little bit more painting. But that's what that looks like right there. And then did some static grass through here, and I'm not really sure how I feel about it. Now this, I used the I believe it was 2mm grass right here. So it wasn't supposed to be very tall, but it just, a lot of it kind of clumped together. We actually did this, me and my friend Steven actually did this, and then we scraped it up and then did it again. So I'm not really too sure how I feel about this through here. I'm not sure if I want to like add some different shades or like a taller grass on top of it and then see how it blends in, or is it all just going to keep piling up, or should I just scrape it over and do something else? So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this area right here, but that's why I haven't ballasted the track right through here yet either. So probably going to do some work on this area next. I'll bring you around. So as you can see, from about right here to over here where the foam breaks up, I've ballasted the track, and honestly, right through here and through Sand Cut is probably going to be my favorite spot on the layout, like even more than the coal mine. I love filming trains and watching trains come through Sand Cut through here. I got some shrubbery and trees working on the hill there. And then I love watching a train come around this S-curve right here, when they come through the S-curve and then start through Sand Cut, or come out of Sand Cut going through the S-curve. I absolutely love this scene here. And like I said, it's nowhere near finished. But I'm really happy so far with how this scene turned out. Got some trees along through here as well. Pretty happy overall with this. I think I might add a few more. But this is kind of like a little wood line that separates the coal mine from the mountain. And I haven't decided if I'm going to put some mountain or some trees on the mountain yet. I've got a couple, but I don't know. I kind of like the way these like rolling hills look, honestly, with like some thicker shrubbery and stuff on it. So what you guys think? Think I should add some trees to the mountain, or just leave it alone? I ain't decided yet. But come around over here, this part of the mountain over here where it separates New River from the curve right here. And I did go ahead and paint this, so this will be easier when doing ground foam on top of it, that shouldn't have as many bare spots. And it's got some rocks and stuff on already. So this right here should be a lot easier when we do ground foam. It should look a little bit better than how it did through here. But like I said, I'm not finished with this yet. I'm going to add some more ground foam layer, just to kind of blend everything in, and I believe it'll look really nice when it's done. So far, I'm pretty happy with it. And then I just got a few more trees I just kind of went ahead and placed through here. But yeah, this area is still kind of a work in progress. I got to find may look at PJ's train track some more, but I gotta find some kind of warehouse industry. It's gonna go right here that will get box cars. That's what that's gonna be. So I'm still thinking on a structure for that. And then over here, I've already got a piece of foam glued in, and I think I might stack it maybe 2 more high. That's gonna be like a little hill right there. So later on that will have to get plaster cloth and then some ground foam on it. But yeah, that's really all that's went on, which is, it doesn't seem like a lot, but actually in 2 weeks, it's been a lot of hours in here, a lot of hours. Ballast and track, ground foam, like I said, just this mountain alone, the ground foam on it, not plaster clothing or anything, just the ground foam is probably 8 hours in that. So there's actually been a lot going on in here. It doesn't look like a whole lot, but there's actually been a lot going on here in 2 weeks. Show you a couple new trains as well. I'm still buying trains. So as you can see here, I'm doing a whole lot of, there's going to be a whole lot of cold trains during operating session, during the layout. So over here we have like it's probably like an early NS cold train. So you got like some Southern NW hoppers and stuff mixed in with the older NS cold cars. But right here is the new Scale Trains Fox Valley. I believe they're the RD4 hoppers. But they've had these on the website for a little while, and I wasn't sure how I felt about them. But now that I'm doing some cold train running on the layout, I was like, you know what? I said, I'm going to pull the trigger on these. So they offered 18 different road numbers in them, and I went ahead and got all 18 for a solid unit train. And then on the head end here, I'm running Scale Trains -9 standard cabs. The light is not really good in here, so I don't know how well you can see these, but you'll see them run later. So that is 2 Scale Trains -9 standard cabs, both of them with ESU Loke sound. And I'm going to say something else too about that. So as you guys know, I'm a big scale, about 90%. Actually, probably more, about 95% of my diesel fleet is all Scale Trains. Like Scale Trains. Everything here is Scale Trains except for the Seaboard locomotives. They are Atlas. Scale Trains. 2 Atlas Jeep 60s. And I think that's it on the layout right now. Of course, for everything in like the display cases and stuff. Yeah, I love Scale Trains products, and one of the main reasons I love them is that they have a great customer service. So like, if you ever have a problem or something with locomotive or freight car or whatever, they for me at least, they get right on it and take care of it. So I really support the Scale Trains line of products. I love their stuff, and I believe they make a very nice model. They're in my opinion, they're the top. They're the top in model railroading. But enough on that. So, but anyway, what I was going to start saying, I just start rambling on. So that's one thing you guys are going to have to learn about me. When we get in the video, I'm probably going to ramble to you a little bit. But Lombard Hobbies. So Lombard Hobbies is somebody I've been going to a lot here recently. And one of the main reasons is, well, there's a couple of reasons. One, their prices are really good. They're very competitive in their prices. But the second thing is they are like one of the very few people out there that carry Scale Trains products through them, without having to buy through Scale Trains. Now, most of the stuff I buy through Scale Trains because I pre-order a lot of things. But if you're looking for like new old stock, so say like an older run of a locomotive from Scale Trains that has, obviously sold out on their website, not in production right now, check with Lombard Hobbies because they are sitting on a heap of stuff. DCC and DC locomotives and HO and N-Scale, and then other brands as well, not just Scale Trains, but mainly them is what I pay attention to. But they are sitting on a ton of old stock. And so like these -9 standard cabs here are new to me, but that is from an older run from, I believe, 2023, I want to say. I didn't pre-order or get those at the time. Didn't really have any interest in them. But I just recently bought them. Like I said, they're brand new. They're not used, but I bought them from Lombard. And like I said, they're sitting on a ton of old stock from Scale Trains. So if you're looking for a locomotive from an older run, you need to go check Lombard Hobbies out because they probably got it. Like this Union Pacific -9, this actually came in yesterday. this UP-9 here. This is from an older run. I believe it's from the 2024 run, early 2024 run. Because I bought the NS-9s they did in that run. But I didn't get any UP, so I got this one, some foreign power to mix in. So that actually came in yesterday. That come from Lombard. Oh yeah, this one. This one's new too. This is a BNSF AC 4400 CW in the H2 paint scheme. That is a Lombard locomotive. You know, sold out at Scale Trains, but Lombard had it. So that came from Lombard recently. Now the coal cars come from Scale Trains because they had those in stock at their website. And the more you bought, the cheaper they were. So like I said, they offered 18 road numbers. So I went ahead and bought 18 of those. And then one more new locomotive. So this one here. I actually got this one from Scale Trains. They had it in stock. This is the CSX AC 4400 CW. I don't know if you can see it on film, but it's the Spirit Adante. Try and get the camera to focus, but yeah, that's the Spirit Adante locomotive right there. I actually had that one pre-ordered at Scale Trains a while back, and I wasn't sure on it, so I canceled it. But I do run a CSX unit coal train on the layout as well, so now I have 3 CSX AC 4400 CWs there for a coal train or whatever I want to run with them. So there's that. And then since I've been acquiring so many new locomotives, I keep all my diesel and steam locomotives in these cases here. Now I get these cases from a website called SF Display. They are super, super nice. They make them in HO, N scale, and I believe some O scale as well. So this is my steam cabinet with some other stuff mixed in because I'm running out of space. And then this one right here has mainly Southern diesels with some other stuff mixed in. And this one here is supposed to be NS, but it's also got a lot of other modern locomotives and so forth in it. But yeah, I'm running out of space for locomotives, so I ordered 2 more cases. So I got 2 more. I'm actually going to put one on the wall here and then one over here. So that way I have a lot more space for locomotives, because that's one thing about me. I love collecting locomotives and seeing different locomotives run and stuff. You know, like when you're rail fan in real life, if you're like rail fan NS, not every train is going to have just NS power. It's going to have like, you know, a mix of like UP or BNSF or CSX or whatever. So I like collecting different road names and mixing them in on trains as well. So that brings, you know, a little bit more realism to the layout as well. But yeah, I keep all my locomotives in display cases, and the reason being, so I got these foam cases here, and I used to keep my locomotives in them as well. But over time, the handrails and stuff and little detail pieces will pop off because they'll get stuck to the foam. So that's when I found the display cases. So I keep all my locomotives in display cases. And these are just used for freight cars, passenger cars, whatever. Anything that's not a locomotive goes in those. And somebody asked where I get these at. So I get these from my local hobby shop, Mike's Trains here in Thomasville. They keep them stocked up for N-scale and HO. I have them in HO as well. Yeah, these are really nice to keep N-scale cars in. Like I said, I got them. They got labels that come with them. So this one here is tank cars. But yeah, that's going to be about it for this episode 2 here, the N-scale layout update. I know we kind of covered a little bit more than just the layout, but I want to get a chance to talk to you guys and show you some different things. So like I said, I'm not sure how often I'm going to be producing these. It just depends on how much time I put into the layout. You know, some weeks is better than others. But I did get most of the peninsula area done, so I figured it'd be a good time to bring you a second episode and show you what's going on here. So episode 3 will probably come out, probably be a couple more weeks before it comes out. Some progress has slowed down here just recently. Got some other things going on I'm doing as well. And, but yeah, so we're going to just kind of probably start working around from over here and just kind of working our way around. And then eventually I've got to pull everything off and move everything and then ballast this whole yard. Now that right there is going to take a while. I don't even know how many hours is going to go into bousing this yard. That will take a while. But it's coming. Everything's coming along nicely. I'm still very, very happy with how this layout has turned out. I believe it's going to be a lot of fun to run and operate on. There has been a couple of nights here recently where I've even just come in here and just sat down and run a couple trains myself instead of just doing work on it, because it's, that's the whole point of doing it, is just to run the trains. And I just really enjoy sitting back and just run some trains in here because I think it looks pretty nice. And I love how the peninsula areas come along through here in Sandcut. This is one of the areas I was most excited about doing, was because I love the history of Saluda Green. And so featuring Sandcut into this layout, I figure it would just be a really nice touch. And I'm pretty pleased with how trains look rolling through that. But hey guys, I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to click the link in the bio. That will take you to the Facebook and Instagram account as well for Marshall and Southern. And stay tuned for more videos. Going to try to do some G-scale work here in the near future. Fall time is quickly approaching here in the Piedmont area of North Carolina. So I got some work to do out there on the G-scale, and then try to run some G-scale trains here for too much longer. So I'll bring you guys some G-scale content and then some HO content later on as well. But mainly N-scale is the focus here, because that's probably my favorite scale, and that's what I work on the most. It's, right here in my home, so it's easier to work on than the HO scale, since the HO scale layout is not at my home. And G-scale is just hard to mess with a lot of times, because you got, weather you got to play in a factor, and it takes a lot to get all that stuff out and run it. But it is coming, so just stay tuned for that. And then stay tuned for episode 3. Like I said, it'll probably be a couple weeks for episode 3 comes out. But yeah, hey, I appreciate all the support. The YouTube is blowing up. We're over 500 subscribers now. And the episode 1 of this series has really took off. Seems like all of y'all really enjoyed it. I appreciate all the support, the likes, the comments, and everything. It really means a lot to me to know that you guys enjoy everything I put out here on Marshall and Southern. But we'll talk to you later, and y'all take care.